Hello there, what is going on, everybody? Star Trek Into the Unknown is officially up for pre-order. There is a pre-order listing page with some cool screenshots. We're going to take a look at all of this. This is coming out supposed to be coming out in April. It's listed as Q2 2024 right now, and we're going to jump over there and take a look. Before we do that, real quick, make sure you click that subscribe button if you want to see more tabletop gaming and Star Trek content. We're going to be talking a lot about this game as it gets closer and closer to delivery. Also, like the video, share the video. A lot of people didn't know. I've heard people mention that, hey, I didn't know you guys had a Discord or whatever. There was links for that in the video description. So if you guys want to join our Discord and talk about Star Trek games, Star Wars games, whatever it is you want to talk about, we're family friendly and very welcoming. Jump down there, keep the discussion going. Also, I want to hear from the comments from you guys. What is your favorite battle of Star Trek? So whether it's the Battle of Wolf 359, or one of the engagements of the Dominion War, or Kirk versus Khan, I want to hear about it because I think there's going to be a lot of battling in a game like this. Let's go ahead and jump over and take a look. All right, so we've got this launch page. We don't have like the completed box art here, but this is definitely the box art for the game. Now, this is up for pre-order right now. I'll put a link in the video description below over at WizKids' website. It is $149.99. That may seem like a lot, but you're getting a full game in this box, lots of different scenarios, and you're also getting 6 ships. You're getting 2 large ships. You're getting a Galaxy class. You're getting a Constellation class. I think that's Constellation class, right? And a Defiant class, right? And then, of course, you're getting the Dominion. You're getting their awesome large battle cruiser and 2 of their fighters. I actually have names for all of this stuff. There's a whole description, right? So this is just so cool. We have a pre-order write-up, and we also have okay, here we go. Contents, right? 1 Galaxy class starship, 1 Constellation class starship, 1 Defiant class starship, a Jem'Hadar battle cruiser, and 2 Jem'Hadar fighters. What I love about this is it doesn't say Enterprise, the USS Enterprise, or the USS Defiant, or the USS Stargazer. It's a Galaxy class, which implies that you'll be able to run these as generic ships, as you might have assumed if you've seen the preview kit demo. We will be talking about the preview kit soon, so stay tuned for that. If you want to see a closer look at the preview kit, make sure you are clicking subscribe and click that bell for alerts and all of that good stuff, because we're going to be looking at this game in a lot more detail. But this has us everything that we're going to be getting in the box. There's 3 acrylic range rulers, 15 acrylic system markers. There's going to be multiple systems in this game, which is pretty cool. 2 turning tools, 12 custom dice, mission cards, officer cards, damage effect cards. Those are probably the damage decks. Every ship has sort of its own. Not really. I mean, deck might not be the best way to describe it. From what I've seen, there's only a couple of cards per ship. So, like, one might be 4. One might be 5. Bigger ships might have a little bit more. But I'm thinking it's between 4 and 6 cards per, especially if it's 30 damage effects cards over 6 ships. So that's something like that. 30 equipment, directive, and other unit cards, assorted gameplay tokens, learning guide, and rulebook, and more. So that's a little bit of this. It just says here, a new Star Trek tactical miniatures game. Dive into an immersive Star Trek universe experience with this 2-player game featuring huge and highly detailed pre-painted starship miniatures built to scale. Command fleets from the galaxy's major factions and embark on evolving multi-part missions. Engage in tactical space combat, while research and diplomacy can also lead you to victory. Prepare to navigate through the galaxy, position your ships strategically, and negotiate with enemies. Negotiating with enemies is one thing I think is particularly interesting. Can't wait to see how that works out. Embark on a journey to explore the galaxy, deploy your crew, and experience the thrill of Star Trek like never before. Are you ready to adventure into the unknown? 2 players, 120-minute playtime, ages 14 plus. Okay, so anybody who hasn't already seen this, yes, these do come pre-painted, pre-assembled. I mean, you do have to stick them on the flight stand, so you want to be able to take them off of the flight stand when you're putting them in storage if you want. But they're really high quality, awesome looking miniatures. These just look incredible. The saucer section does come apart. Yeah, and you can Apparently, you can command it separately. This is the screen. This is, I guess, the back of the box, and this gives us a ton of information. And so I want to zoom in on this a little bit. And we're gonna open this in another, a different window here. This is groovy. This is groovy stuff, folks. First off, we're getting a look at some more of the officers, some more things that are going to come in here. So let's go over a little bit. So we can see here that we already know Cisco. Well, I already know Cisco's in the preview kit. If you guys have seen some early videos and stuff that's out there, Cisco is in the preview kit. He's the only named Federation. There are like generic officers and stuff like that, but Cisco is in the preview kit. By the way, this game is cool because it has a way that reflects like the enlisted people that are on a ship too, which is, although you have Miles O'Brien right there, hardest working man in Starfleet. Speaking of enlisted men. Okay, so we've got Odo. I didn't know Odo was there. I mean, I can assume every character from Star Trek is going to eventually make it into this game, but as far as what we're getting up front right away, here we go. We've got Kira Nerys, we've got Jadzia Dax, we've got Miles O'Brien, we've got Worf, son of Moog. Today is a good day to play Into the Unknown. And then Odo. So that's pretty cool. If we're looking on here, if we go down a little bit more, if we can see who is on the Defiant, it looks like it's fully loaded in this case. In the preview, they only show like 4 officers on a ship, but here they show even more. So, you're not. It appears that you aren't restricted to only running 4 officers on a ship, which is a good thing. Looks like we've got a generic Andorian on there as well, and then that generic Benzite. I think that's who that is. And then we see some art of Picard on there, assuming Picard also comes in this box, which he probably should. There's definitely a big Deep Space Nine contingent to this game. The Dominion War was heavily Deep Space Nine focused, but since you do have a Galaxy class, and presumably that being a title or some way to make it the Enterprise if you wanted it to be, presumably Picard will come in that also. Okay. So we've got a Defiant, a Galaxy class, and then a Constellation class. Presumably we'll have ways to run them as their named equivalents. And the reason I say that is because one thing that made the Defiant different from any other Defiant class vessel was the cloaking device. Later on, they had the Sao Paulo, which eventually became like the Defiant or something like that. And they have something. If we look down here, and we look at some of the things that are coming with it. This is really cool because Galaxy class starship, Constellation class starship, Defiant class starship, 1 Jem'Hadar, 2 Jem'Hadar fighters, 7 base and peg sets. So that's kind of cool. That is almost my guess for the 7 base and peg sets is that we've got 1 for each ship, and then an extra 1 for if you detach the saucer section from the Galaxy class and want to fly that by itself, which I love. Transporter range rulers, movement tools, dice, transparent system, transparent range rulers, not transporter range rulers, although that would be cool too. Ship displays with dials. I'm getting to the interesting part. Basically, assorted gameplay cards, 2 mission cards, 2 saucer separation cards. I don't know if there's going to be 2 ships that have a saucer separation. What I think is, when you do a saucer separation, you're probably left with the saucer section and then the battle bridge, right? So like you get the 2 versions, so you probably need to split that ship off into 2, which is so cool. It's so cool. I love that. And there's other ships that do similar things in Starfleet. So depending on, how many ships and expansions they make, this represents phenomenally cool stuff. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. But let's look down to this next thing. Stealth dial. Stealth dial. This is something new. This is a very cool thing. And it's great to see. Presumably this is cloaking, right? Or at least related to cloaking. It's something that you will probably use to cloak. And what's the only ship here that has a cloaking device? Well, the Defiant. At least the named version of the Defiant had a cloaking device. And, once it was replaced with another Defiant class, it did not, they didn't have the cloaking device anymore. But, so, and then, presumably, I guess technically the Enterprise cloaked once right? Where they clipped that the Pegasus device, that phasing thing, and they cloaked and phased and went through an asteroid and stuff. But yeah, so that was the the stealth dial is probably going to apply to either the Defiant as a title or a name or a way to make that ship not just any Defiant but the Defiant, or some kind of equipment that would be a cloaking device that you could put in the Defiant, or who knows, maybe you can put it elsewhere. Maybe there's consequences to doing that. I have no idea. Things like this get me so excited and make me have so many more questions. Like, can I cloak the Enterprise? Can I cloak a Jem'Hadar ship? How is all of that going to work? It's very, very exciting. So there's so much going on here. I love the fact that you can run, these as generic ships, which makes me think like, hey, maybe they'll have these available as individual expansions also, and then I can run, a Galaxy class as, multiple generic Galaxy classes, or maybe I can run the Yamato alongside the Enterprise, or maybe I can run the Sao Paulo alongside the Defiant. I don't know another named version of a Constellation class starship, so off the top of my head, but I'm sure there have been plenty. The Hood was an Excelsior, so that's not coming up, But, speaking of Excelsiors, I'm sure that'll be another one that shows up very soon. I want to see the Enterprise B too. I've seen a lot of people mentioning the Enterprise B in some of my comments, and it was that modified Excelsior class that had like that kind of the hook on the bottom of the hull. It was very cool looking. I'm sure we'll see. I'm sure we'll see lots of ships. Like WizKids is not afraid to do a lot of Star Trek ships. How many times am I going to mix up Star Wars and Star Trek as I am talking about these games? Because I talk about Star Wars so much. But yeah, WizKids is definitely not afraid to do Star Trek ships. And if you look at Attack Wing and all the ships they have there, it's a lot. And I can't wait to see what else comes out for this game. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. Again, if you want to pre-order this, it's available up now at WizKids, shop.wizkids.com. I'll put a link down in the video description below. This looks exciting, folks, and it's getting closer and closer. We just gotta close our eyes, cross our fingers, and count the days. And as new information comes out, I'll be bringing it to you. So make sure you guys stick around. Huge thanks to my patrons for help making this whole channel possible. Thank you so much for your continued support. If you're looking to support the channel, there's links to Patreon in the description below. May the force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Always wash your socks and have a great day.